morning, everybody. My name is Micheal, and I've been sober for 10 years. Thank you very much. Last time I spoke was 2 months ago, and what I talked about was all the despair and all the garbage and all the darkness of my using. Today, amongst you, I want to share the light, and I want to share all the hope that comes with sobriety. Okay? So when I decided I had to go to treatment and do something with my life, like I was going to die, I went into Harvest House, and I was quite at a loss, and I didn't know who to turn to, and I hadn't found God yet. But when I sat a few days in, and I started feeling all those shakes and what I was doing there, and I didn't want to be there, I thought maybe I should just leave. And all these bad thoughts started entering my mind again. And then we'd go to, it's called PD, and we'd sit, there was about 27 guys of us, and a pastor sitting at the front of the room. And we'd talk about sobriety and what to do with it. And we had to bring out whatever was wrong with us. So about a week in, I was kind of settling into the place, and again, I still didn't want to be there, but there was a young man named Jonathan that was in treatment. He had been there for 6 months, and I'd hear him talk about God, and I knew who God was, and I knew how much my mom wanted me to know God, and she was telling me all the time how I was God's child, and he loved me, and I should go to him, and I should be with him, having had no father. So I started singing with John because I knew that he knew God, you know? So I remember at the beginning, I would start sitting with Jonathan, and I'd say, well, can I have supper with you? Can I, start asking you questions? And he was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And eventually, when we got to know each other a little bit better, I knew that he was an artist, and he would draw these black lines. And beautiful work, like beautiful time spent at night. Every night he would do one of these drawings. And then something clicked. I'm a colorist because I've been a florist for all these years, so putting color together, even in interior design, was something like breathing for me. So he gave me one, and he said, here, use this to take time out from all the pain you're going through. And why don't you take some coloring pencils and try to draw in my lines and put in some color? And that was the beginning of a friendship that is now 10 years old today. He sits right there. He's still my sponsor. He's still my sponsee. I'm still his sponsee, or the whole thing. We just don't know anymore. He's my best friend. He's my son. He's my brother. So when we had to do stuff at the treatment center to generate some money, and one of the things that I did, other than cooking, and I did some work in the office, but I had to learn. I learned how to put prints on T-shirts, and when there was the running room, I was the press maker, and I was doing these T-shirts, right? And one day I had an idea, and I had this idea because I had a stack like this of prints that he had done in black and white, and I had added color. And I asked MJ, who was the one in charge in that room, and I asked her, I said, do you think that I could take 2 of these and put them on T-shirts and give them as a gift to Jonathan for what he has done for me, and introduce me to our holy man upstairs. And she said, yeah, for sure. So I brought her this. She was she could not get over it. She was like, are you kidding? Wow. Like it was a wah. Have you seen that commercial lately? Wah. It's about a car, the wah. Oh, it was wah. So I put two of the prints, two of the favorite prints that I had, and I put them on T-shirts, and I was able to give that to him as a gift. And that was the beginning of JMB Start Arts. JMB stands for Jonathan, McAdam, and Michael Bigra. And Start Arts was what he had chosen as to be this thing. So that he would do night shift, and I would sit up with him in the night shift till the morning. And we would talk about this business and we would go and we would share the word. We would help other recovering addicts, and we would share these prints on T-shirts. And so when he left treatment first, and then I followed behind. We got a place together, and then he got the first business license, and we called it JMB Start Arts. And he would actually sit in front of the Chateau Laurier, and he would sell these prints, and people would be like, it was like they were attracted to this art, right? So when we put them on T-shirts and then started selling them in the market, that's the first. Jonathan is still there today. We would do that every summer, and then during the year, during the winter, we would make the prints and then get everything ready. Canada Day was the 150th, was probably that mountain peak where we peaked it with JMB Start Arts, and I'll never forget it. It was so incredible, the amount of T-shirts that we had to print. You couldn't see the house, it was just T-shirts. And we have pictures of that. It was really, really cool. But it's called purpose. All of this became purpose, and I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea, but I knew that he was my boss, and I knew that I'd had to follow what he was telling me to do, and I had to do it with him. That's all I knew. So no questions asked, I would do it, and I did it, and we loved it, and I still love it today. But it changed. There was something in me that still missed my flowers, because I've been doing flowers for 30 plus years, and I really wanted to go back. And I had gotten my first job at the Ottawa Bagel Shop with Vince Piazza in Wellington. And that man became like a father to me. And he helped me become back the florist that I was, only sober. I was able to do it sober. So I got my first job at Sentimental Flowers, where I ended up being part owner at Sentimental Flowers. And then it wasn't enough. I wanted it all. So, I could have laid the knife down. I wanted to, but I couldn't, because it was about the purpose. So I ended up buying a store, and I was here. So those of you that know me from then knew how hard it was to get this store, but I got it. And then today it's called Micheal the Designer's W Flowers. So if you want to talk about hope, that's where it's happening too. That's where God is, because he's still my boss today. So we're helping people in recovery. We're helping people with mental issues. We're helping the homeless. And just 3 years ago, we began helping the seniors that are alone for Christmas in retirement homes. It's called Christmas Smiles Campaign. And I'm so proud of it, because now I have a team that helps me to do this. So that's what he's making me do it. So without a question, I follow what he says, and I do it. And on that note, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being part of my 10 years of sobriety. And I'll see you in a couple of years. But thank you so very much. Micheal the Designer, W Flowers.